As an online business owner, you know that having a website that not only works, but also compels people to click and book and purchase is super important. So, today I'm going to break down three of my subscribers' websites with the help of my friend Brian David Hall. Brian wrote a book called Your Website Sucks. He also has a community and a course that you all should check out. I'll leave his links down below. But he knows a little bit more about this stuff than I do. So I recruited him to help give some tips on how to improve each of these service providers' websites. Let's hop in.
I want a backseat drive for a minute, if I
Yeah,
may.
go for it.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's look at this on your phone, at least your phone
Okay.
resolution. Doing that because, right, like when we do this exercise, when we audit a website, as much as possible, we want to put ourselves in the visitor's shoes. We want to try to see things from the point of view of the people actually coming to the site. So it might be a bit of a leap, but I'm assuming that people probably come to the site on mobile, just because
Yeah.
most people go to most sites on mobile. So here we are. Thank you for your patience.
Yes.
This is the homepage, hero section, above the fold. Like this is what everyone will see, even if they bounced after 2 seconds, they get to see this. So let's spend some time here first. The first thing I'm seeing, I guess, is no one thing really draws me in. I guess there's no one action that is offered up to me as most prominent or primary or whatever. And so several different elements kind of competing for my attention. And so there's the view more, and I've already looked at the site, so I know that banner across the top is clickable, but I don't think I would have thought to click it until I slowed down, took the time to read it. Do you know what I mean? It's not bolded or like, it doesn't look like a button or anything like that.
Agreed.
It's just an observation, like something we might think about is, well, what do they want me to do here? I guess, what can I do on this site? Typically, you want people to know that as soon as possible. Like, can I book a call with you, or can I go ahead and swipe a credit card and buy a block of hours, or do you want me to fill out a form? The sooner I know that, that helps me frame my journey through the site, because I'm thinking, okay, well, if she wants me to book a call, let me see what I need to learn so I can decide if I want to book a call. As we go through the site, we'll figure out what that action is, but I'll come back and recommend, let's find a way to get that action front and center, like right here, first thing you see.
I agree with all of that. I'll also say the view more for me, I think that term is a little bit confusing. I think maybe if it said like view portfolio or view services, maybe that would give me a little bit more, but I don't really know what I'm viewing.
Agreed. This is a pretty important principle of UX, is make the buttons action oriented, and as much as possible, make it clear what's going to happen after you click. So agreed. I don't know what's going to happen. We should, in a moment, let's click it. But the last thing I'll say is there's a lot of social chaos on the page. I see the name of the agency in 3 places, and I love the name. I think it's awesome. And I love that it's either it's for you or it's not, I guess, like just from the name, right? Like either you like that and you want to learn more, or you don't. So that's really strong. And at the same time, what might be missing is like, what about me? What about my problems? Why am I here? What do you know about me? What are you going to do for me? So we'll come back to that as we learn more about what they offer. But if you would, click the view more. Let's see all right. What's your kind of gut reaction there, Latasha?
Yeah. So first impression here, text for me is hard to read, just because it's all caps.
For sure. There's a whole 3-page chapter about this in my book, by the way, about kind of like wall of text readability and whatnot. So yeah, we're all grown-ups, and at the same time, we're all busy and distractible. And so realistically, a lot of people just won't read that text. Not to say they shouldn't or that it's not good, but they just won't. And so yeah, breaking it up into bullets, headings, cleaning it up, making it shorter and more concise, like these are typically good moves to make. If you do read it, I want to say there's something in here that's actually gold, and I think really deserves to be kind of pulled out and highlighted too. And it is, we've worked with a wide range of celebrity clients. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, this is the first kind of moment I've gotten a really strong feel for actually what they do. And that's really impressive. If there's any way to pull out that name, a testimonial, a face.
Yep.
I'd take that all the way back to the homepage.
I don't want to jump ahead here
Yeah, no, go ahead.
but there are logos on the homepage, And I would
Fair.
love to see like that logo ribbon here, for Why Social Chaos instead of, and I love these images too. I think they're fantastic, but maybe instead, since there already are so many on the homepage, instead of team photos, having a logo ribbon here might
Yep.
make a little bit more sense.
I agree with everything you said. And, whether I scroll or click, hit me with those logos. I agree. Like, let's make sure that I see that, because that's going to increase my trust and interest quite a bit, just like that. If you scroll down, I think we've got our answer as far as like, what can I do here, right? Like, what can I do on this website? Looks like I can fill out this form and submit it. And so the fewer form fields, the better in general. And this one's pretty short, right? Like name, email, message. I would say it's really important to set expectations as far as what's going to happen after I fill out this form, right? And if possible, do that in a way that also motivates me to go ahead and, all right, I'll type my email once more, So something about, what's going to be the follow-up? How soon can I expect to hear from you? What are we going to do next? Around the form, wherever it appears,
Yep.
is pretty crucial.
I have a question. Do you recommend that service providers have pricing on their website? And I guess secondary question about the form, because for me, yeah, I think it's great that this is short, but it's also very non-specific. Sometimes with my clients, they don't really know what they need, or they don't necessarily know what's available. A lot of times they're not reading through my entire website. They're just saying, I need help with social media. So they go straight to the form. So I think I have like check boxes on mine, like which service are you interested in? Is that what you would consider overboard with a form?
These are great questions and very personal. And I think
Mhm.
they are not only, the answer not only depends on the freelancer, but even the moment in your career or in your year for that matter,
Yeah.
what the right answer is. I'm a big fan of pricing on the website for what it's worth. I'm not a big fan of haggling, and I'm not a big fan of spending a lot of time on sales calls.
Yep.
And if you're like that, it really just cuts through it. Here's what I do. Here's what it costs. It helps filter out people who don't have the budget or who don't actually need the service, right?
Yep.
So it gives clarity, right? Like the more you can define your services, the more qualified leads you'll get for the most part. As far as the length of the form and what you ask, kind of a similar topic. Like you can think
Yeah.
of this, whatever your offer is, or like the thing you ask people to do on the site can act as a filter. So again, depending on the season or
Yep.
where you're at with your career, more questions will filter out some of the people that are less motivated to get in touch. And if you're already pretty busy, that's a good thing, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
So this is back to the homepage.
Back to the homepage. So yeah, let's say
Yep.
we didn't click, we scrolled. Let's scroll a bit. All right. So there's some good copy there that is pretty hard to read. And we've already kind of talked about that. But again, I think there's an overlay on that image, like a darkened translucent overlay. Maybe it just needs to be darker. Oh, and this, okay, yeah. Like Shana Weiss. Okay, so here's our testimonial, right? Again, like here's the social proof. Here's more detail about what the team does, what they're good at. And so I really want to see this. So this, if anything, maybe I'd nudge up the page. Could Shana let us use her photo? If she's open to that, that would be great. Make it look kind of more testimonially and more prominent, because this is really good stuff. Right below the testimonial, great opportunity. This page could use another call to action or two. And we're back at that question of what is the call to action? It's contact us, I guess, at the moment, right? It's like fill out this form. But this is maybe the biggest opportunity for the site. So we could talk about, changing the wording on that one link at the top, and we can talk about redesigning the testimonial. That's all good stuff to do, but clarity and persuasion in the call to action is probably the one thing I would focus on. Like, what do we want people to do? Do we want them to maybe go ahead and just book a call? Potentially, like, could we integrate some sort of calendar service? And so that's the call to action. Book a call, pepper it throughout the page. Could they do a quick social media audit? And that's where the engagement starts. Fill out your information and we'll hit you back with, our quick thoughts on what we see of your socials.
Here's the logos.
Yeah.
And there's a lot, there's good ones too.
Exactly. Yeah. So these two, like a little narrower band of logos that takes up less space and can go higher up on the page. I would put that here. I would put that, like you said, on the why page. Don't let anybody off this site without seeing that band of logos, right?
Yeah.
And I think too, one of these logos, like the bottom one, I want to say is clickable, probably shouldn't be.
Why shouldn't it be clickable?
Well, like, what do they want me to do? Back to like the topic of us all being quite distractible and busy. If I happen to tap that and happen to be like, wait, what is this? You've lost me.
For sure.
So if you can hijack that intent, that tap, click, whatever, and instead guide me further down the path of working with you, then that's a good thing. But
Yep.
otherwise, just make me keep scrolling.
I'll say from my perspective, one thing really quick, just from a social media perspective, I think a lot of these could probably be on one page. We have like social media management, social media audits, social media jumpstart, and just thinking about how my clients, they don't know social media. Like
Yeah.
they don't know which one. They probably need all of them, to be honest. They probably need the audit first, then I don't really know what the jumpstart is. That's probably like maybe it's coaching or consulting or something. They probably need some combination of them. So I would rather there just be like a social media services page, maybe that has a little bit of each of those things mentioned. Like,
Yep.
here are the different capabilities that we have. Book a call so we can help you decide which one's right for you.
Yep.
Um,
Agree. This
I would
is a
hate to
really
lose
good
people.
point. Yeah. Like, give people too many choices and you do lose them. Like, don't make me think hard, please. And so where should people start? Where should
Yeah.
80% of people start? Back to the topic of like making the primary offer something specific and even motivating and valuable in its own. Like, if most people should start with the audit, what if the whole website was just geared toward driving me toward that audit? Not contact us, but get your social media audit. Like,
Cool.
you make the decision for me, because you're right. I don't know. I don't know what I need.
Yep.
Yeah, good call.
Absolutely. Tell us about your website sucks. Why did you write this book?
I've been doing like website stuff, and like a hardcore marketing nerd will be familiar with the phrase conversion rate optimization. And then normal people maybe just think of it as website strategy. Like, what should go on your website? What should the copy be? What images belong? How could we change those things so that more people take action, sign up or purchase or whatever? Like, that's the service I've provided for many years now. And we do it through a number of means. There's like user research, and there's like UX principles, and there's also experimentation. So like A/B testing on your website, which is a thing that you can only do if you have a lot of traffic. So Google famously, Amazon, they do a ton of experimentation, Facebook, A/B testing, everything. That's how the experience got where it is. And a lot of other brands can do that too, but there's a cutoff where it's like, you don't have the traffic. Like, you can't do it. You don't have the numbers. It's not going to make sense. If anything, you'll be kind of deluding yourself if you try to make sense of those numbers. And what I wanted to do was bring together everything I've learned from all these years of experimentation and the principles that sort of bubble up to the top as being like, these are the things you really need to focus on. These are the things you really need to get right. And these are the infuriating mistakes that I see over and over on websites. And just write a common, like, simple, plain language guide to, like, here, fix this, don't worry about that, don't worry about that. Like, that's basically the structure and the promise of the book. You go first.
Okay. Well, first I'll say I love the imagery. I love the color palette. Really easy for me to read, which I like. I also like that she's talking specifically like to a specific audience. There's e-commerce in here, which is really helpful. And I also love that there is her service, at least one of her service, web design, is also right there, really apparent for me. So I would know whether or not I'm in the right place. And I
Yep.
do love that there is a call to action that tells me where I'm going, that I would assume brings me to like a services page or a contact page or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This one is really good. Really, like, I'll quickly be in the territory of nitpicking, trying to make suggestions here. Everything you just said, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so the URL is her name, and then there's her name at the top, and then there's a picture of her. So it's very clear, like, this is what the site's about. Hi, this is me. And then boom, I love that headline too. It's clear who it's for.
Yep.
Right. And the more specific you dare to be with who it's for, the better results you'll get. Like, I know right away if this is for me or not. And
Mhm.
if it's not for me, I should leave anyway. But if it is for me, I'm like, oh, wow, you specialize in solving my problem. So that's so strong, so strong. And then, yeah, agreed. The specifics on, like, here's what I do for you is really good. Almost really no notes. Maybe we'll come back to the top of the page before we move on.
Yeah.
But this is really strong. Yeah. Will you scroll down some and
Yep.
let's look at the rest of the page? Yeah. Ambitious e-commerce entrepreneurs, again, even more specific and
Yep.
reinforcing that. It's really good.
And then we've got the services preview, which these all expand.
Yep. And want to call out at the bottom, there's a call to action at the bottom of the section. So if you've expanded those and you're interested in this, there is a step for you to take. And so I think that's well done too.
Yeah. And then an about me section with another call to action
It's good.
and a little portfolio preview with a call to action to visit the portfolio.
Okay. Yeah. Nitpick. So can you tap on those images? Do they take you anywhere?
No.
Okay. So nitpick, because we're, 2/3 of the way down the page here. It's not super high priority, but I can't tell what they are.
Mhm.
And I could click visit portfolio, but I was kind of like, why are you showing me these, I guess? So maybe a little label beneath each that says what it is, like what's the brand, what was the project?
Mhm.
Or if there is a specific write-up for each of these, just make them clickable so I can click through. Something like that would add a little clarity to this section. Not a big deal.
Yeah, agreed. And then software. So these are, I guess, tools that she knows how to use, and
I like it.
CTA for a discovery call. Yeah. I really liked this on desktop. I didn't look at it on mobile. I did
Mhm.
really like the way that it looked on desktop. It does feel like a little bit, what's the word you used? Text,
Wall of text. Yeah.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
on mobile for me. But I
Yeah,
think it
for
is
sure.
useful.
Yeah. And that maybe a difference here is you're almost not meant to read it. And
Yeah.
you're just kind of meant to move your eyes over it, maybe identify something. Oh, I know what that is. And you move on. And I like, there's a lot of personality in that phrase, always honing my tech skills. So
Yeah.
I think it's good. Okay, here we go. Book a free discovery call. And so there's a clarity to that call to action, right? I know exactly what to expect when I click it, or well, I know what I think is going to happen. That maybe is lacking from back at the top of the page where there's there's a banner that says inquire, I think, and then there's the work with me. Those, I'm not exactly sure what those will lead to. Book, I expect, takes me to a calendar, probably.
Yeah.
So if that is the step she wants me to take, I would probably just repeat that. That would be the same thing I would say at the top, just make it consistent. So again, as we're browsing the site, in the back of our heads, we're like, do we want to book? Do we want to book? And, once we decide to book, we're done browsing. We can go open another tab. And, one more thing too, if you scroll down just a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So repeating the form thing, right? Like fewer form fields typically means more people will fill it out because typing is hard, I guess. So if you just need the email, just ask for email.
Okay.
Probably see more people opt in. If you use the first name, last name, whatever, it's not a huge deal. But this points to something: tips, templates, and free resources. So templates, like, I don't know if the folks that want to work with Madeleine also are into templates or not, but that potentially, like, that could be the whole offer of the website. You could actually, instead of be like book a discovery call, you could just try to drive people into your free templates and email list. Like say you're all full up with clients, for example, you might want to change the site so that that's the primary focus. That's the primary offer. And then potentially too, I guess, show me a template. Like you could really sell me on this, right? Like show me a screenshot of one of your templates, pick the one that everyone likes best, make it visual. And you could really sell in this section, like this irresistible template, get instant access. So I don't know how much of a priority the email list is, but there's an opportunity to get more people in, I think.
I love that tip. And I love that for when you're booked, being able to change your call to action depending on the season. I think that's really smart. You could easily swap those.
If nothing else comes from this conversation, that I hope comes across: experiment with the primary offer on your website and change it according to your needs. Absolutely. Yeah. Like it's a really powerful move. And for that matter, actually, back to the topic of pricing on your website, put pricing on your website and then go change it whenever you want for what it's worth, right? Like put pricing on your services, send that link out to your next 5 leads. And then if they all close, go raise those prices, edit, like 3 lines of text, and congratulations, you raised your rates.
Yeah. Some of my highest ticket contracts have come from times when I was so busy. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to throw out the biggest number. And they said yes. So use that busy time wisely.
Raise your rates, everybody.
Yeah.
Would you click book a free discovery call, actually?
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. So it actually this is good expectation setting, right? Like if you read the text, it says, I'll get back to you in 1 to 2 business days with a link to schedule your free discovery call. So it doesn't take me straight to a calendar, which is fine. But this is what I'm talking about when I say set expectations about what will happen after the
Yeah.
form submission. This is a good example of that. I probably lose the social icons right there because I've come to this page. You want me to do one thing. So
Right.
don't offer me any distractions. Okay, I'll say if you're not going to call me, leave the phone number out. Fewer form fields in general mean more form completions. What else? Oh, okay. Estimated budget. Yeah. Will you tap that little drop down under the estimated budget? Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. I'm curious about the upper limit there. I guess I don't know. Like, what if I have more budget than that? And
Yeah.
maybe that's by design. Some folks don't like working with big enterprise clients with giant budgets, and like that self-knowledge is important. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Maybe it makes sense to have broader range. 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 and up, or something. Not sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. If I had to kill any of these fields personally, I would agree with a phone number. And this one too, this is asking if they want copywriter or photographer recommendations. I feel like that's something that you can talk about on the discovery call, when you're
Yeah.
getting to know more about their project. I don't know if maybe she would invite the copywriter and photographer onto the discovery call or something, and that's why she's
Huh.
asking now. But
Right.
unless it is imperative for her to know right away, I feel like that's kind of like a secondary
Yep.
question for me.
Yep. And that, like, a generalizable concept there. If you don't need to know right now, don't ask in your
Yeah.
form in general. And so agreed to that. And I guess actually while we're on it, I don't want Madeleine to feel like we did her dirty because her site is so good. So I don't have a whole lot to say, but we could talk about like what happens on the discovery call that's valuable to me. Like, what do I get out of
Yeah.
attending a discovery call with you? And if we highlight that and make the whole offer about that, that potentially makes it more compelling. And I'm not sure, like, do I get clarity on like where my focus should be? Do I get a quote from you? Do
Right.
I get my questions answered? Like, whatever these things are that are actually like valuable, again, not about the services, but about the discovery call. You can almost pretend like that's its own product
Yeah.
and really sell it. And so book a discovery call is very standard. It makes sense. Logical next step. There's the opportunity to be like, no, I have this branded discovery call that, is like its own valuable thing that you probably want.
Yeah.
Something to think about. You can give it like a
That.
cute name, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm really into that. The branded, like, custom offer thing. Social media strategy, like clarity session, or like, I don't know, like I can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine,
Mm-hmm.
but like Madeleine, right? What do people get from this call with you? I know it's valuable. So yeah, sell it.
Cool.
To recap, the biggest opportunities, I do think consistency of the call to action is helpful. So in the hero, the top of the homepage, same as the bottom, like if it's about booking a discovery call, just make that clear. Work with me is a little vaguer. Okay, yeah,
And it brings
good.
you to the
Thanks for
same
checking
page.
that. Yeah. So making that consistent, probably a minor improvement. Thinking about ways to reframe and potentially reduce friction in that form, probably worth doing. It's a really good website.
Yeah. Agreed. One of the big questions that I actually get two that I want your take on. One, do service providers need a website? And two, if so, how big does that website need to be? Is there like a certain number of pages or a certain amount of information that you think is important that service providers make sure to cover?
I think I could talk about this for a while, and I'll try to kind of like hem it in here. I do think you need a website. Like, technically, you can get by without one. And if that's holding you back from getting into the world of freelancing or something, by all means, like don't let that be the case, right? Just get out there, send emails to people you've worked with, tell them that you're offering services. Go. Don't let that stop you. But as you move on, I think it becomes a really powerful tool for, like, there's so many different purposes that can serve your business that, yeah, you absolutely should have one. It helps with credibility for sure. It makes you look like you're an actual real person who really does this versus just some name with like 0 hits in the Google search results. So that's important. And it, as we'll kind of see today, I think looking through some websites, it serves as kind of a brochure and adds credibility to, here's the services I provide. Here's how I think about the problems that I solve, which is important to people because Hiring a service provider is kind of like a high consideration purchase, right? You don't just like go buy one on impulse. And so it can help you with that. It can build a ton of authority if you happen to do blogging. You don't have to, but it's a natural place to put that if you do. And in my own experience, just speaking personally, I wrote a ton of blogs when I first started off. And it kind of challenged myself to write a blog a day until like the well ran dry, and then like push through that. And that's sort of how I landed at having an actual point of view on the space, on the area where I work. Where before, I think I just had kind of like, I was thinking about technical problems to solve, and there wasn't much unique about my perspective. So given all that, yeah, you should have one. That said, like how much of a website do you need? I mean, sort of the same answer, like none, if you're just getting started and it's really like holding you back to create one. But a single page is a great place to start. Just a page that says, this is me, this is what I do, this is how you can engage with me.
Yeah.
Good enough. And then if you're going to build out from that, I think the most powerful, okay, a blog is great. And then the most powerful content to add to the site is to add really specific details about the services you provide and how you provide them, what it's like to work with you, and even a specific kind of offer to get started down that path. The website as a place to play with your offer to the market is also really powerful. If you have the capacity to kind of spin up a new page and be like, hey, I do this now, and send the link out to some people, that can really help your business explore and grow in a way that's hard to do without that. So yeah, get a website.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for backing me up, because I say that to, I don't think people love to hear that, but I do. I think it really helps with the credibility piece, if nothing else, which is really important. I've never hired anyone who didn't have a website, like for a
same
online business like service or something. I've never hired someone just through Instagram or email or anything that I can think of. So
if you want to move beyond getting gigs from people,
yeah,
probably a requirement. That's a
or like an Upwork, like a freelance board or something.
Sure.
I've definitely hired people like that, but I think if you want to build your brand, outside of that, it's super important.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Next up, we've got Relight Digital.
All right. So very clear who it's for. And I like that, right? We kind of have harped on this. As soon as I land, tell me who it's for. So enhancing creators. So there we go. And exhausting being a creator as well. And then it depends on your phone, but I want to call out that there's a little chat widget down at the bottom right. On my phone, that was actually overlapping with the Learn More button.
Okay.
And so,
this button.
Yeah, like it was actually scrunched up and kind of covering it up. And so in general, I think chat widgets, it's worth really thinking about the value of the chat widget, I guess. So if people are coming to the site and engaging with a chat widget and they're getting responses and they're turning into like clients, don't touch a thing, right? Ignore me, right? What do I know? If that's not really the case, if you don't have like compelling evidence that, the chat widget, it's important, it needs to be there, I think it's okay to leave them off, or maybe leave them off like the first page that people visit, or only have them fire after 30 seconds or 45 seconds or something like that. Just because, again, on some phones, it'll actually cover up some of the content that you want me to see. Similarly, if you look at the upper right there, there's a cart.
Yep.
And there's just a little like element overlap. This is kind of why we, go into mobile mode, because we mostly we design and we interact with our own websites on desktop, but visitors, maybe not so much. So whatever, like a CSS tweak to fix the menu up there so that there's not an overlap on mobile devices.
Yep.
Not the biggest deal, it happens, but definitely worth fixing there.
Yeah. Can I say something about my first impression?
Yeah, please.
So I agree. The audience is super clear to me, but it actually took me a while to understand what exactly the offer was. I don't know if you had the same experience, but to me, this looks like a SaaS website, just the look and feel of it.
Yeah.
And then it says all-in-one solution, which I don't know, that the word solution to me, I always think of software.
It's sassy.
Yeah, it's totally sassy.
Agreed. And for that matter, there's a shopping cart icon on the page. And so that makes me think it's an e-commerce or I'm not sure what digital products of some sort, maybe.
Yep.
So yeah, so really clear who it's for, like big, large print type creators, and then it's repeat. That's really good. But what it is also needs to come across. And yeah, agreed, it's not clear. So I guess we could scroll and so the learn more, actually the learn more, what happens when you click the learn more? Just like because it is the one button that we get. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Like we can come back to that. The shopping cart icon, let's also come back to that, I guess, because I need to be convinced that it needs to be there, because as we scroll, it's going to cover stuff up. And this, it's a small screen and every little pixel counts. So we don't want to give up that screen real estate willy-nilly. Anyway, the empathy here is really good, though. It's exhausting being a creator. So good job tapping into feeling and motivation, pain points, as we say, I guess. And I love the second person too. You're a content creator, not a social media manager, is so good. Again, it's like either I know it's for me and I want to know more, or I'm out. And either way, that's the right action for me to take. So this is really good, but we still don't know what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Those look like SaaS, right? Like those screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does say our team, but also tools and systems. So again, I'm like, is this like a social media scheduler, like an automation software? I don't know.
Yeah. What's Premiere Pro?
It's like Final Cut. It's Adobe's.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Like as a proper creator, I guess that would probably resonate. YouTube tutorials. I'm trying to get a feel again of, like what's the product? What's the offer here? Because once again, ideally in the first 5 seconds of landing on the page, I know who it's for and what it is and what I can do about it.
Yep.
And so far, really clear on who it's for is really good, but the latter two, we're still working on it. So, okay. Yep. More screenshots. Definitely looks like some kind of a platform. We're a team. YouTube development, short form content, social media management. Okay. Well, I guess we both agree that it's just not clear that this is a website for a team, I suppose. And I think where we went astray, both of us, not to put words in your mouth, but is some of the imagery just looked sort of like SaaS stuff.
Yeah.
And so I guess the easiest thing I could think of is just show me the team.
That's what I was going to say.
Over some of those screenshots or mock-ups or whatever they are. I want to see what it's going to look like after I become a client. I want to see what my experience is going to be. And it's probably like, I don't know, your face on Zoom and your name in my inbox. And so I think it's good to show that.
Yep.
But you don't have to. You just have to make it clear what the offer is.
Cool. And then we have more our team kind of towards the bottom again, work with a dedicated member of our team. And then we have faces. I think these are testimonials.
Okay. Yeah. And
still
so
not the team, but we do have faces.
Yeah. These could probably be higher up. So again, we're talking about different ways to convey we're a service provider, we're an agency. So this one too, Relight manage my short form content. And what's the other testimonial say? Great communication and support. So one of these being further up the page could also help with that clarity about here's what we do. We're a team.
And then we have a template download at the bottom.
Yeah. And so what do we do here? What's the action we can take on this site?
So this we can download. We can read a case study. I think the main call to action is here. What are you waiting for? Get started now. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go do that then. So we have a type form here. Okay. Let's poke at the type form a little bit. We hit start. Let's put in take a couple steps.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Well,
click.
So there's a suggestion, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So it works on desktop, but not on mobile.
So, hey team, QA your mobile form, FYI, for sure. Super common, honestly, like whatever. There's lots of devices out there. It's complicated. Just make sure it works on mobile. So this is interesting. I'm assuming the primary purpose of the site, and I could be wrong here, is to bring in clients for the services. But we do have that shopping cart and we do have this issue with a product. And so I'm not clear on what the products are.
Yeah. The only one I saw is this, but it says this is for free. So I don't know. I'm not sure if they sell any other like digital products or anything.
Yeah. All right. Here's what I'm going to say. I think that the form should just be for clients or prospects who want to inquire about services. So we could almost skip this first one, like find out more. I should be able to find it on the website. Issue with a product. I don't know how I could have an issue with a product, I guess. Obviously, I'm ignorant
Yeah.
here, but what's get a free quote? Where does that take us?
What's your name?
Okay. An
Email address.
Okay. Okay. And some more personal info, your handles and whatnot. So all like, it makes sense. You have to ask for that stuff to follow up I'm assuming you're going to maybe take a look at my socials before the follow-up, which again, that's part of the value of the discovery call. Let me know that you're going to show up with some thoughts or some feedback. These multi-step forms are really good. It's really good to kind of just have me focused one question at a time. Don't overwhelm me. And at the same time, when you have the flexibility to make one of these, it's also good to ask kind of an easy, almost fun question first before you get into the give me your name, give me your email. Like, I know it's coming, but if you lead with that, I'm just not really motivated. Whereas if you ask me first, off the top of my head, I would say like maybe a select all that apply. That's like, what platforms are you active on? Or what platforms, do you want help with, or something like that? Kind of gets me thinking about something personal, and it gets me thinking about how I'm going to do better on YouTube when I work with this team. And so by the time you get me to check a few of those boxes and go next, now I'm already in it. And okay, now if you want my email, well, okay, sure. So that's a suggestion for anybody using a multi-step form. Lead with a question. If it makes sense, it's almost fun, easy, and kind of personal. Not personal like email, but personal as in like gets me thinking about the problem I'm solving and the goal I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah, I love that. Feels less like you're going to, the DMV, and more like you are about to work with a really cool team to improve your content.
Totally. It's like, oh, you get me. Yeah. You know all these platforms. You've already thought about my problem. You know how to solve it. You're interested in me. Of course you need my email. Sure. Here you go. Yeah. And form tweaks are really powerful typically. So remove the first question if at all possible. And then instead swap out with a first question that, I don't know. It's kind of like fun, novel, easy to answer. So a couple little UX tweaks. Again, the layout, not a big deal. Although I guess at this point I want to ask, does the cart need to be there?
I know. Can I click on it?
Oh yeah, give it a shot. Oh, you clicked resources. So click the cart now.
Oh. Okay, it doesn't click.
No.
Nothing
All right,
happens. But they do have resources.
Would you actually, can we look at one of these products too? I just want to know, I want to see if I do have to give my email to download the template, I guess. And it's free. And okay, so this is Gumroad, I want to say. And so, okay, but it's on the Relight Digital like URL if you look in the address bar. And so I think this looks like Gumroad to me. And so I think that's the shopping cart too, is like, it's the Gumroad cart. And so I want to say the highest level, like the highest priority for this site would maybe be to commit, not permanently, but for a time, to either we're really focused on driving leads for services, or we're really focused on getting people to get these free tools, which does capture an email and allows us to continue marketing to them, follow up. And one or the other, but the blend right now is a little off, I guess, because the type form seems to merge both, and that kind of adds some friction and complexity to the form. The shopping cart is kind of in the way, and it's not clear why it's there. So if that makes sense, if you're going to go all in on products, the website should talk even less about the team and should really be focused on the specific products and the problems they solve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And I also think the form has like customer support for these templates, but it looks like they're all free. And I mean, it's not to say that they don't deserve support if something's broken, but I think making it a priority over paying clients, I think feels a little confusing to me.
Yeah.
Like someone will probably just reach out via email or the chat widget or social media if they're having an issue with the free template. I probably wouldn't prioritize it.
Yep.
Or prioritize support on it.
Yeah, totally. Again, it comes back to that prioritization. It's hard. It's just really hard to do both. And if you think about it from the visitor's perspective, it's confusing when you are trying to do both. I think the answer is to pick one, go all in for a while, and you can decide if it's working. You got to prioritize for me, I guess, because I'm too dumb. I'm not going to figure it out when I'm on your website on mobile for 30 seconds. Yeah.
That's it. That's our life advice, website advice, all the things, I guess. Where can people find you, Brian? Where can people find the book?
Yeah, for sure. There should be a link that Latasha, you'll share the link. So if you found this useful, like this process useful of put yourself in the visitor's shoes, look at the site on the most relevant device, step through and think critically about what's available, look for UX issues, blah, blah, blah. I have a course, it's free. It's 12 lessons and it walks you through a more in-depth process of doing what we just did kind of informally. And there's a community built around the course. So you can come in and ask me questions and I can rip on your website even more if you find that useful. So that I would say is where I would love people to come. And if that just doesn't hit, then I'm also on Twitter, happy to talk there. But yeah, come try out the course.
And TikTok, right? Yep.
Also on TikTok. Yeah. And so if you want a quick website audit on TikTok, you can find me there and we'll drop the link as well. And I'd be happy to take a look and give you 30 seconds of feedback for whatever that's worth. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks to everybody who submitted their websites.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
They're all really good, I think. I'm really impressed, honestly. So let us know in the comments if you make any of these changes. We'd love to hear how they go for you.